This is Goku-san DBZ, and welcome back. This time, I am going to be ranking, and there's a reason why I'm wearing this Amon Amarth shirt, and I have some metal playing in the background. That's because today, I am ranking, for me personally, my top 5 favorite genres slash subgenres of metal, and some CD recommendations from those genres slash subgenres of metal. With that said, first, couple of honorable mentions. New metal, in you, though technically it didn't last long, is more late 90s, early 2000s. Also, honorable mention I have to give to, I have to give honorable mention to probably speed metal, black metal. Top 5 for me personally are probably coming in at number 5, in my personal opinion, is probably a subgenre which is very similar to that of black metal. It's called death metal. I like elements of death metal more overall, but at the same time, I like a lot more of the instrumental work and stuff more in black metal. So it really is close between the two. But there's still certain elements I prefer in death metal personally. At number 4 for me is probably relies a little bit more on the instrumental side, and it is known as symphonic metal. Now, if you're wanting to know bands like, for instance, symphonic wise, one of probably the better bands, I would say symphonic metal, is a band called Within Temptation. There's also another really good band, though they've had a little bad luck with lead female vocalist, that is Nightwish. But in a minute, I'm going to have a album recommendation from my personal favorite symphonic metal band. Also coming in at number 3 is a tie, honestly. It's a tie between what is known as power metal, which Amon Amarth is really a merger from multiple genres slash subgenres. But power metal tied for 3rd place, and it's tied with another subgenre. And that subgenre is known as... Darn it. I hate when I forget things. But anyways, it's a combination tied power metal and industrial metal for 3rd place. Coming in 2nd place for me personally is Viking metal, which Amon Amarth is a mixture of Viking along with elements of power metal, and also has some of the vocal style reminds me more of that of death metal. Coming at number 1, favorite metal genre or subgenre, whatever, is hands down the genre that really got me into being a big metal fan, and that is a particular genre which has 4 leaders called the Big Four. Number 1 favorite genre of metal, thrash metal, because they have the Big Four. They have Anthrax, Slayer, which is technically also death metal to be fair, and that also includes, of course, my personal favorite, Megadeth and Metallica. Now, here's some recommendations, quickly. If you're looking for something more in the lane of Viking metal, but has certain elements to black metal, but more Viking than anything, I highly recommend Winter Sun, and this is actually their debut album. Next up, if you're looking for more of a death metal, I personally recommend of a little bit older albums. This one is from 2011, but I really liked it. It's called Darkness in the Light. And it's by a pretty cool death slash metalcore band called Unearth, which is actually a pretty good band in all honesty. If you're looking for more a traditional type of death metal, I personally highly recommend the band Arch Enemy, and my personal favorite album from them, Chaos Legion. I highly recommend that album. Next, yeah, I highly recommend to anyone, frankly, is the band Amon Amarth, and two albums specifically I recommend. One from the album, well, of course, you're seeing the shirt from this album. Easily my favorite album from them, but also up there, being one of my personal favorite albums, is their album Deceiver of the Gods, which is really good and has one of my all-time favorite songs called As Loki Falls. Also, I really like the song Deceiver of the Gods. Now, in a little bit more, strangely enough, technically they're considered Christian metal, but they do have very much the same style of metalcore, Demon Hunter, and their song called The Triptych. Then you have Epica, Design Your Universe, which is easily my favorite symphonic band. Easily favorite German industrial band, Rammstein, and I highly recommend their album Sehnsucht, but also Reise Reise. Easily one of the all-time greatest power slash thrash metal albums is Burnt Offerings by Iced Earth. Also, I highly recommend you check out the band Primal Fear. If you're gonna check out, though, any specific classic thing from the Big Four, I highly recommend Megadeth, their albums Rest in Peace and Countdown to Extinction. And this is the only Five Finger Death Punch album I would recommend, and that is Way of the Fist, their debut album. If you're looking for more classic new metal and stuff, I recommend The Sickness by Disturbed, their debut album. Speed metal, I recommend Sonic Firestorm from Dragon Force. If you're looking for a more classic era artist, I recommend, of course, Ozzy Osbourne, and one of my, I feel, underrated albums, Down to Earth. But those are some recommendations. In the future, I may do more metal album recommendations. Anyways, this is Goku7DBZ, and as I said, this is my list for, in my opinion, 5 of the absolute best genres slash subgenres of metal of all time. Leave a comment, tell me which is your favorite genre slash subgenre of metal, and who are your favorite bands in those genres. I'm actually curious to hear your opinions. But anyways, I'll see you all next time. Same YouTube time, same YouTube channel.